Order. First order is considering any changes, additions, or
We can strike number 8.
strike number 8. Overlook for on. All right. Next order is to approve the minutes from the previous meeting, which is August 5th. That's the pleasure of the board.
I move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from citizens? There appear to be none this evening. Department head report. Looks like things are going well. The SCADA system's working well at the springs. I guess we produced 17.6 million gallons of water and used 7 million gallons of water.
Correct.
BJ went to the asset management planning training. We thank him on August 12th. They were working on paving project repairs. They've moved 16 curb boxes which were damaged, need to be replaced. They also changed 4 curb stop boxes on Pleasant Street for the sidewalks. They got the blow off put in at the end of Thompson Avenue so we can flush the water better up there. Altitude valves working fine, and they're still flushing Deep Lawn Court, Thompson Avenue. So sounds like
Things are going well.
it's been a good month, kind of routine,
Yes.
no major leaks, breaks, or freezes, so they always say. All right, age receivable report.
So, report is in pretty good shape. On here, it is listed about, we did turn some water services off within the last, since we met last. That did spur some payments and agreements to get those water services turned back on. Most of the major bills out here, are on payment agreements. So we have we upped some of our payment plans, as well as came into some new payment agreements. So on the water side of things are in fairly good shape. I don't foresee, we have had communications with the one, you have a list that was provided to you at the beginning of the meeting, that kind of gives you an idea of where we are. There are 3 there that are one homeowner. That services has been discontinued, so we're kind of trying to handle that in-house. You're supposed to come to the board. But at the bottom, the property at 143 Main Street, that was the previous 7-Eleven, their service has been discontinued. I have spoken with that property owner. It's a company that owns the building out in North Carolina. I spoke with them today. They're aware that, so according to them, because we're concerned, the windows are broken, et cetera, they said they do have a client that's going to be renting there within 2 weeks. They are aware I sent them these balances because they know that until the balances are paid, they can't have a liquor license, they can't have the water turned on, et cetera. So I have a feeling that will be taken care of within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Good deal. So things are looking pretty good.
Things are good.
You guys have been cleaning it up.
It's been very good. And, if you go through, 90s, a majority of our stuff is current or over 30, so we're in a pretty good spot.
Very good.
Good job.
All right, next item is water allocation request. 1 Prospect Street to convert a barn to a 3-bedroom unit will need a separate hook-on for Joe.
Yep.
And that's, the owner is John and Lisa Cousin.
Yep. And, so they $500 hook-on fee, and that would be a separate hook-on. Joe and I have spoken about it, and so all seems to be above board.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to accept the hook-on of John and Lisa Cousin at 1 Prospect Street.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next one is 117 Main Street, add 19 seats to the existing 25-seat restaurant deli. Where is that?
This is Blue Duck.
Blue Duck, okay.
And so this is really more kind of also an administrative measure because because they are adding seats, but they're going down to 2 meals a day, they're actually decreasing in consumption. So it's more of a record keeping.
Okay. And the owner is the Keeneland
Keeneland Group.
LLC. All right, so we'll need a motion
Yeah.
to just move this.
I move to approve the request from the Keeneland Group at 117 Main Street, Ludlow, to change from the 25 seats to 44 seats, but reduce down to 2 meals a day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, manager update.
So, just kind of some of the, we did put the blow off on Thompson Ave at the very end, which was help with flushing. They're still experiencing some dirty water issues up there. We are exploring that process of ice pigging, which is trying to clean the pipes.
What is the cost? Wasn't the cost pretty substantial with that?
So Joe's working on a site visit with the company right now just to come out because they're out of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So they usually don't do small projects. So we're going to do, we're kind of trying to check the boxes here. But I wanted to say it was like $8 a linear foot. So,
$8?
$8 a linear foot was, I know when Middlebury did it, it was around that cost.
Do they do some sort of exploratory evaluation to determine that this is going to solve our problem?
They would.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we're this is something that, water is odd like this, and it's not just germane to Ludlow, it's any town where, some reason places will just all of a sudden will get dirty water. My neighbor in Cavendish sometimes has dirty water and I never do. It's strange. But we're trying to find, the flushing and, flushing the water one way. This new blow off is kind of checking the boxes as to exactly what we want, what we need to do, and what we can do. So that's a piece of it. Also kind of coming back to our talk about the asset management plan. At our last meeting, we had talked, and the woman from the state of Vermont who was here told us, that having the asset management plan would give us 75 priority points towards our any infrastructure projects when we go for the clean water funding. So to give you an idea of what that does for us, on the last list that was out last year, we had 32 priority points. If we add 75, that puts us at 107. The highest applicant on last year's list was St. Johnsbury with 84. So there were 41 projects between 84 points and 50 points that were funded, which means we would be substantially shot to the top of the list.
Are those that are above us at this point, are they taking the same course and get 75 points?
I'm not
That's what I
sure.
was
Yeah, that I can't speak to.
22.
We could go way up
Yeah.
here, but all of a
But-
sudden we could come way back down here too.
A lot of these projects too that are, these are also second and third phases of the ones that are so, some fall off, some go on.
Yeah. So the odds are pretty good that we're gonna.
We would make the cut. We might not be at the top of the list, but we get in there.
And our engineers automatically update that and put us on every year.
Correct. Yeah.
And is that Wayne Elliott's group now, or
It is
that's all the
still,
Hoy team?
it is still Aldrich and Elliott.
Aldrich.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? I've got a few.
Did we miss Blackbird?
No, we
Drop
skipped
that.
that.
Oh, you said,
Um,
okay, that's right. I heard you say skip 8.
No.
Number 8, okay.
And the only other piece from my update, and I think it was on there, is obviously, as I've told you, that I've submitted my letter of resignation to the board. So, that will be effective December 5th. I've given a hard copy to Dave, that the risk of belaboring the point, it's just time for, it's a personal thing, nothing. So I appreciate the board's support, and the time that I've been here has been tremendous. But we'll get through budgets, et cetera, and that'll be December. So
We'll miss you for
We'll miss
sure.
thank you. I'll miss it as well. Again, it's not,
You've done good work.
it's,
We still need an insurance agent.
yeah, man, who knows,
There
right?
you go.
Would they let me keep my same office though? Not that far.
We'll work it out.
Remote, we work remote.
I'd rather be over there.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
You don't wanna be over here.
That's a good point.
That it on that?
That's it.
I got a couple of things.
Sure.
Since it's so dry, the springs are keeping
Yep,
up. We haven't
spring-
had to run any wells.
We
I
have
know
not, no.
In years past, we've had to do a few things.
Yeah, we have not.
And I know there's plans to do some work on the flood control dams.
Mm-hmm.
Is the dam above our springs, is that one of the ones where it's on your?
It is. So that is site 2.
Yes.
That is actually, so site 1 and 2 right now are approaching the 60% design completion phase. So they've gone in, they've done their test drilling. So both those dams will, I believe the target for those 2 dams is to go to construction early next year.
Does the project include doing some dredging in the bottom of the ponds?
Yes, yeah. So it's dredging, replacing, if not replacing, but repairing some of the towers, because there's a lot of spalling in the towers.
Okay.
But a big part of it is the dredging, as well as redoing the auxiliary spillways with, larger rock.
Mhm.
So because what happened in the 2023 event is, at least with Site 3 and Site 5, when those activated, you've seen it, it
Eroded,
just
yeah.
eroded everything. And while they're not at the risk of failure right now,
It's just a mess.
it's just a mess. And we had it repaired, which is great, but this will be a little preemptive, as well as replacing a lot of the interworkings of the culverts and piping is all,
Okay.
it's all steel at this point, which is probably rotten. So they're gonna replace it with plastic.
I was just thinking of the dredging that could help our flows.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah, so
our infiltration galleries under there.
So dredging is a big part of that.
The Plumley Avenue project, any mobilization or movement?
They
on
have
that?
not mobilized anything yet, but I anticipate them starting that project probably within 2 weeks. So I know they are just securing some of the permits and working with.
Can't get much drier, so.
Can't get much drier there.
All right. We talked about Thompson and Ryan. We haven't had any leaks or breaks this month, which is good. And the SCADA system's working good.
Yeah.
At the wastewater, I know this isn't wastewater, but all of our water stuff, SCADA stuff, goes to the wastewater plant. And that's where that's the key to it. Is there any movement on moving the control building to the plant or elevating or anything?
So there is, and on 2 phases. So we've talked a lot about moving the control building and mitigating codes and standards of that building to, FEMA asked us for 3 different options for it. Put it back, pre-disaster cost, mitigate codes and standards, which is difficult because it's in a floodway. So that's almost impossible to do that if you go by letter of the law per se. You can't do that in a floodway because there are no codes and standards for a floodway, essentially. And the third was relocating it. For a while, the relocation kind of was a pipe dream. That has picked up substantial speed right now in terms of funding, securing the property to do it, and moving it up behind La Valleys and Geldwin.
Elevating.
So
That's just a control building.
that would be the entire
Oh, really?
plan.
That'd be
Yes.
a big nut, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because so what the number is right now is to mitigate codes and standards and put it back, if you could, there is about 12 million. To relocate is more 24 to 25 million. So we would get 12, essentially, if FEMA didn't fund the whole project, we would get the 12 million from the FEMA public assistance. Then we would be trying to find 12 million to relocate the plant. Right now, I've been working very closely with, Vermont Recovery and some of our other agents within the state. And also some of the, I guess, heavier hitters at the state level and federal level. And there's substantial movement on being able to stack some of those funds to relocate the plant. Will it happen? I don't know. We could strike out with the money, but there's a very, very real chance it could happen, which is good.
I'm just curious.
Because I've kind of been trying to beat this drum with anybody from the state and the leadership up there that would listen, that you talk about flood recovery in the state. Like, if you want a poster child for it, look at this wastewater plant. It gets bombed every time it floods. It's just, I know it's just money, but we have the land, we have the capability to do it, we have the plans. Help us out. So that's kind of where that's at.
Just curious. All right, that's all I have. Next meeting would be October 7th. Agenda items, just more of the same. Sign the warrants, we did that. Executive session,
We do.
personnel. So I would entertain a motion for executive session for personnel.
Okay, I'll move to have the executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Go invite the manager.